Welcome to Fix My Form. It's episode 3, guys, and yes, this is the show where you, the Age of Empires mobile community, ask me questions within my community Discord and see what my opinions are on the game or just advice on the game, right? Should you go for this skin, as we're going to explain in a moment, as well as how to improve marches, what to pick when it comes to other marches too, and on top of that, how marches work. So we're going to go through all of that in today's video, and if you want to join, check out the link in the description down below, guys. It's easy to join the server. All you gotta do is make sure you've read the welcome of, say, area. It will tell you to go to the rules. Just go to the rules, guys. Read the rules. You'll know exactly what to do if you read the rules. Like 235 other people have already done, and we've already got 297 members in the Discord, so it's always growing fast as hell here. And once you're in, you can select your role, get your Age of Empires mobile role, and join the Fix My Form area. You can post questions here. It can be Fix My Formation, general help, Discord help, anything, right? It's all in here for me to help you guys, or even my community. Some really good community members could ask questions too and answer them in here as well. So with that, let's just dive into today's video. There's a lot to go over. I'm going to try and go pretty fast because I was trying to record this before, and I'm going to be honest, it was almost an hour video. So today I'm trying not to make it an hour video. I promise, right? So the first one is, should I make a second march, right? I already answered this really easily. If your primary heroes, guys, your first 3 heroes in Age of Empires Mobile are level 120, what you're going to be wanting to do, no matter what, is start working on other heroes. Obviously, you want to be doing that, because when you go into the main game now, if my good old OBS wants to work, there we go. You can see here, we've got the ability to have 120 heroes. I've already got, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I'm working already on my 8th one, and we're going on, right, to the 9th. So what this is basically, always prioritize your first march. So my first march was the Mulan, right? So I had Mulan, Attila, and Rani, level 120. The thing is, I knew no matter what, my next heroes I needed to be 120 was going to be my Miyamoto and Tribuana, because I needed that for Yodit, right? So while I was waiting for Yodit, and you can see she's level 91 already, I worked on other marchers, primarily my pikemen. So you can see I've got 120 on Richard, 120 on Boudica. And this is one thing you have to kind of learn on about Age of Empires Mobile. It is a management-based game. If your heroes are level 120, you need to make the decision on what next march you're going to be working on, because those 3 heroes that you level to 120, for example, the Boudica here with the Richard, and say, for example, the Joan of Arc that I'm working on to get to 122 for a free-to-play Pikeman March. Once you've got all of those guys 120, you got to think those are going to be the marches that are going to have your next rings on, that are going to be having the next set of gear on, that you're leveling up, right, through the skills too. So these are going to be what you have to do, and that's a decision you make, guys. And once you've done that second march, guess what? You'll be working on your third march, and you repeat it for your 4th and 5th march. And once you get to it, you'll realize a bunch of your heroes are already pretty high level, right? And you're able to actually do a lot of stuff, right? And that's kind of the progress. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon, right? When it comes to leveling up heroes. So that hopefully answers how to level up your heroes if you've already got some 120 heroes, right? So coming back into the good old Fix My Form area, what to pick here. We've got basically a bunch of questions here from last time. So this was on the 5th of January when we did our very second episode of this, and then we've gone through and kind of done a follow-up, right? So this is a follow-up on everything that's happened. So basically, just to showcase, he did unlock the Rani. He got the 1-star on Rani, allowing you to have a really good double attack build here with a good support at the back with Rani, doing some good work with Warrior Queen, the Blood First, and Warriors Hymn. And if you guys didn't know, with this match, especially if you're a Warrior Archer player, Josephine is a really good hero because she's actually triggering double attack here off her skill, allowing that Warcry to actually give you a lot more recovery triggers, which is a good garrison build. So if you're in garrison for combat a lot and you're not doing open field, this March setup is actually a really, really good one for those scenarios, right? So if we come out of here, you'll notice he's now trying to get his, as you see, Boudica out of Bellevue at some point, which is definitely what he needs, because he's got Leonidas here, right, with Joan of Arc and Darius. And I'm going to be honest, I personally don't like Darius, right? If I could have had maybe a 1-star Barbarossa, maybe, that would have been even better too in that slot, if you still have like a 1-star or better Barbarossa. But until you get Boudica, you might as well just chill, right? You might as well just chill, because soon you get Boudica anyway, you're going to have that Leo with a Joan of Arc and Boudica set up, and that Boudica is making that Leonidas hit like an absolute truck, while your Joan of Arc and basically Boudica are both supported in the back in some form of way. So not too bad. And obviously, if you can, guy, try and get Richard. Please try and get Richard, right? If you've missed him, I do apologize for you, and let's just say rest in pieces to him for that, right? Moving on to the next part, though. This is a really good one again, talking about El Cid Tariq out of Bushra, because they have this martial cavalry set up. I nearly said pikemen then, I don't know why. Probably because of the Bushra. But now he's thinking about using Seong the Great for the build for an absolute tank unit while dealing some decent damage. I'm free to play, so he doesn't have so much resource to invest in both. So this is a really hard decision for him, because obviously it depends on what he's going for. I give him my personal preference on the March, right? And I'm going to give you guys my obviously preference in game 2, because I said, as you can see there, Bushra, right? I actually prefer Bushra. Some people don't like Bushra. They obviously want to hate on it. That's perfectly fine, right? When you compare both heroes, you're going to see two things, right? Seong the Great is a really good tank cavalry hero. He's all about reducing the hero's damage, and on top of this, for super free investment, you can keep fortification, right? Fortification gives you an absurd amount of armor. We're going to be making a video on this, don't you worry, guys. And this is what makes him so cheap, because you can just have these two skills and you're actually doing an absurd amount of tankiness from one commander. With that, if you do go to the more skills, you just unlock Peaceful Haven, guys. I personally don't like Tenacity or Protracted Battle on him, because you just put in so much investment in. And to be honest, whenever you recover your heroes, which is 50% of the time, which is one of the highest percentages in the game, which isn't an 100% guaranteed chance, you're reducing your troops damage taken even further. But that is me. That's the way I like to run. I go all in on the reduced damage taken, so I'm not taking anything on there. However, Bushra does something completely different, and this is what people do not realize why I like Bushra. Bushra is providing you recovery on troops at 100% activation chance, which is already better at a 9-second rate, so you have sustain in battle. But what's good is the disarm. Disarm is stopping people from triggering normal attacks. And as you guys know, anyone who's been playing this game for a decent amount of time now, some of the best heroes in the game says, after launching a normal attack, I kill you, bro. Same with the fucking Ramses, same with fucking so many heroes. Like, where's Hannibal, bro? I'm trying to find Hannibal. Like, even Hannibal does this, bro, after launching a normal attack, right? So the thing is, if you are going against heroes that need a requirement like launching a normal attack, disarm is super powerful, because it's actually just stopping them from working. And that's why I prefer running that. If it was up to me and I had to pick one of the two heroes, I'm picking Bushra. I'm sorry, I'm picking Bushra 10 times out of 10. However, if I had an honorable mention, I do want to put out there for a supportive hero that might cause a bit of controversy, me saying he's a supportive hero, is YSG. I'm actually under the impression this hero is a false Dark Knight, because he has the attack, he has the active state. However, the way you play him is nowhere near like a damage dealer. He is so good on his own that he can support any, and I mean this, any match on his own, because what he's doing as a cavalry main is putting quick wit on his state, on himself, right? And I know Sig, and if you're watching this, Sig, I love you, bro, but I know Sig and a few others don't like the fact that the quick wit state doesn't apply to other heroes, but that is where that is just bonkers to think about, and that shouldn't be happening, because you're getting 2 chances to activate that skill. That means you're getting double cast on your skills, and I don't think they realize that, because when you put stuff like Bloodthirst and Battle Roar on this hero, when you're double casting this skill and you're increasing this and it's stacking and you're doing recovery all the time, it is absurd how much damage and how much support you're actually providing from 2 skills. And this is what's so good about this hero, is if depending on what you want to do, if you want to go really damage heavy, you can do that. If you want to go for more of a chase down route, you can do that, right, with the Earth Crush. But the best build is definitely the Battle Roar Bloodthirst combo with the quick wait state. So if you have the ability to invest on a hero, maybe have a look at this guy, because this guy I think is a dark horse, actually really good hero that I said at first wasn't that great until we did some good testing, and even I changed my tune on this guy. Really good hero, honestly, right? As especially that you can summon him from the tavern too. Just remember that as a free-to-play player, you can summon that guy from the tavern. So you got 3 options there. Obviously, if you're only picking one, I'd pick the Bushra, but that's my go-to, right? You got Bushra, Sid with YSG. So simple as going. So moving back over, going into the good old Fix My Form. And if you guys, again, want to participate, just remember, link is in the description down below. You can join my Discord and just post anything you want. And no, here we've got Rim asking some good questions here. Basically, should I spend my Empire coins on getting legendary skills for the last 2 heroes, and for my Yodit match, should I Tribuana or Hammurabi? I have legendary medals saved up for heroes, but I'm waiting for the right time to use them. So you do have some good questions here. So the first thing is, we're going to look at his marchers. So you've got Alubu, Guan Yu, Attila. This is the first combo he's going to be talking about, the Yodi with King Derek and Hammurabi. And we're going to obviously point out a big mistake Rim's making already with this match, which we're going to fix for him. And then you've got the Yodi, King Derek, and Tribuana match, which I really do like, and we're going to talk about this more in depth. You got the Bellevue, Josephine, and Mulan with good old Hannibal, Justinian, and Cleo, right? So these are the heroes he has available, right? He's asking, what should he be technically spending his Empire coins on like legendary skills wise, right? Because there is some legendary skills you should be getting. So the first thing I would always suggest, right, and we'll get the easiest thing out, let's fix this match, right? If you wanted to run Rim Yodi with the Hammurabi and King Derek, I personally don't like this, because your actual Hammurabi isn't even 1-star or higher, which just means a Tribuana with a minimal bit of effort, which you can clearly invest into, will do better in, right? With this combo though, guys, you're doing it wrong, right? So if we go into the good old game, we can explain this a lot easier. And I want to clear this up one final time, hopefully for you guys. And if we keep getting this question, I'm gonna have to make a full video on it, right? But Hammurabi with the good old King Derek, right? This combo is one of the best free-to-play player combos, right? However, when you talk about this combo, you need, guys, your Hammurabi to always come before the King Derek. This is the one mistake I always see, where King Derek is in front of the Hammurabi and you're losing out on potentially a damage increase, which is going to help that Josephine or Yodi or whoever you choose to pair with this match. And the reason is, when you look at the King Derek skill, he says when dealing might damage to a target, you deal some good damage. If the target is in the route state, you increase their might damage taken. Yes, you can try and trigger your own route through this. There's a 20% chance, but trying to do that on the same turn is ridiculously hard to do just to try and get that King Derek to trigger. So what you do is, as you guys can guess, put the Hammurabi, guys, in front, because with the Hammurabi in front, as you can see, even me having a maxed out Sunder here, this is allowing me to have the maximum effect on this skill, right? So if we go into the details of this skill now, I have it max, level 40 effects, 35% damage rate, 180% damage, 20% chance of triggering route, plus his main skill triggers route. So you have 2 chances before King Derek even goes into turn of having route and allowing you to put the really important King Derek buff on, which is making them take more might. And that is what is the payoff, because with that, your Yodit, your Josephine, whatever you're going to be running, deals more damage. So make sure you get that sorted. And I know I ranted on really hard on that, but it does upset me when I keep seeing that always put into the comps, right? So swap your Hammurabi, King Derek around. We've gotten that. Now let's actually fix some of this, right? Or talk about some of this, because I would honestly suggest for you this build you've actually got here. The Yodit, King Derek, and Tribuana, right? If you're able to get even a 1-star Yodit and a 1-star Tribuana and move up, it's going to be amazing, because the thing is, the Tribuana, hopefully it should be activation chancing onto the Yodit, meaning the Yodit's got more chance of activating her stacks, obviously dealing damage and giving you battle damage immunity, which is really good for obviously training and prolonged fights. And then obviously your best infantry hero is the King Derek, so unfortunately you're going to have to run him where you've got him, and he's just going to do his own thing. When it comes to the skills for these heroes, if you are wondering, we jump back into the main game, go over to the filter and hit just the good old legendary, not even legendary, just put swordsman and warrior. Let's talk about them, because you don't need to unlock every skill legendary, as you guys can see. Even for me, I still say this is one of the best, if not best, skills that you can be unlocking for a purple skill. The only legend skill you need for Tribuana is King's Blade. This is the only skill you need. Why? It's going to give the chance to increase all of your heroes' damage by 14.79%. Here, this is whenever you basically go into a charging state, you reduce all enemy heroes' might and strategy. I personally don't like this because it's a net, basically another 8,000 cost. And the same with this one. This is recovering your units. You could put that on there. However, you'll just realize having straight up 110 armor is just bonkers, right? So 8k, you only need King's Blade. That's one skill I would recommend you automatically unlock. Yodit is a little bit more different though. I have gone down the Battle Roar and Executor role because I really like the combination of increasing the hero's damage with obviously what she's already doing with her stacks, but then increasing your hero's signature activation chance by 7.3%. Every time the hero activates his the skill, there's a 24.5% chance to increase skill damage even further. So you can see how these are kind of like working with your Yodit, making sure she hits like an absolute monster. You can change this and put Furious Charge on. This is just a nice stable skill, but I think these are, for me, my two favorite skills for Yodit. You can argue among yourselves why, but it's just what I prefer. I'm just going to be honest. So if you want to follow me on the Yodit unlock, go on the Yodit unlock. There is a lot of different skills you can unlock on her, but those are the two I would definitely get. But when it comes to Trib, definitely get King's Blade, right? Now, when it comes to your King Derek, what do you need? Well, to be honest, all you actually do need on this one is Righteous Judgment. It's probably the best skill that you could be putting on him apart from the Earth's Crush. You could put Earth's Crush on this hero instead of Righteous Judgment if you wanted to give yourself the maximum amount of opportunities to inflict rout to obviously get that might damage bonus. However, I just think entering the charge state and actually reducing all enemies' heroes' might and strategy by a flat amount is more beneficial, because the thing is, he isn't a massive damage dealer. He's not an insane hero at all, but he's good. And the fact that where he's good at is there. It's just this skill for me, right? So that's the one skill. If you could unlock one for him, that's the one we would do. Now we're going into his other marches. His other marches are really interesting because as you guys can see, he has that Lubu, Guan Yu, and Attila there, right? So he has Lubu, Attila, Guan Yu here, and he has the Tactician Cavalry, and he has the Warrior Archers. So I will tell you already, you've got a Josephine already 3-star, fine through just free-to-play progression. Bellevue is one of those heroes that I believe she is either a 1-star or a 5-star hero. You cannot meet me in the middle on this at any point, because the thing is, 1-star super cheap investment, and yes, you get a bit of extra damage for doing so. 3-star is the same, but it's quite a bit more of an investment just for a little bit of more damage on top. While 5-star is where the real payoff is, because you reduce or you take away the reduction of your armor. So basically, this hero only grants you damage and attack, double attack states, which is just crazy at 5 stars. So if you have the investment chance, you go to 1 or 5. I'd personally keep her at 1 for most players. And if you're spending, again, your Mulan's 1-star here, I'd want her again around 3 stars or higher to make her actually do something. That's how I feel when I'm running that match. Your skills you already had set up pretty well, but when you're looking at your Lubu and your Guan Yu and your Attila, you've got obviously the Attila, which needs straight away his Warrior's Hymn, I believe it is, if we remember right. Warrior's Hymn and Critical Insight. So if we swap that to Cavalry, we'll be able to see them, right? So go over to Attila. You can go weak spot attack. This is for the damage orientated build, but there you go. Warrior's Hymn. You can see I actually have all the skills unlocked on this hero. He's that good, and you can play him in so many ways. It's ridiculous, man. But you definitely want Critical Insight. Critical Insight is the must pick, I think, on this hero. It increases all your heroes' critical strike rate by obviously 10%. It keeps going up the more you upgrade it. And it reduces the enemy's armor by 13 points. And it stacks up to 3 times, meaning you get a 39, basically 40... Yeah, 39.3 armor reduction on them, right? Which is really good for the fact that you're doing damage, because you got to think your Attila is increasing already the double attack state here and giving your commanders more might. And with just those 2 skills, you got to think your Guan Yu loves that, because he increases the critical strike rate even further, so you have probably around above 40% or more critical strike. And then for the first 15 seconds you also do that even more, so you're critting even crazier. And then Lubu, the actual monster of crit strike, increases the crit strike by an absurd amount and makes all the hero skill deal crit strikes. So no matter what, all of your skills now crit, guys. Even your war, weak spot, you name, just everything crits. Just fucking crit skills. It's crazy. And then after any of your heroes deals a critical strike, increase the damage of Lubu's next customizable skill by so much, right? So then you can go out of here, and you can see even in the tutorial, his best skills, Ripping Tiger and Weak Spot Attack, these are absolutely monstrous. I would put on, like I say, for here on your Attila, instead of Active Mercy or the Weak Spot Attack, I would put on Critical Insight. Just get that on there. You'll thank me later for the amount of uptime you have on the crit. On this Lubu, it's just going to work and pump together, right? So absolutely bonkers match. But definitely for your legendary skills, I would definitely get one of those for your Attila. And again, by doing that with your Attila, just to kind of throw this out there, you're opening up the windows to actually, play with your other matches. I'm going to be real. You can run that with your Mulan instead of the Josephine, for example, right? So that is a really good kind of like, segue on that. So hopefully I've given you a bunch of advice there. That's probably the longest one because there's so much on there. Now we've got some more actual advice. We've got Al asking about warriors and tactician archers, and this is a really good question. I'm a low spender, currently main Mulan Archer March. I'm also working on the Suleiman March. Theodora would probably be a better support, but she is with the Sun Tzu, and I'd have loved to see the Sun Tzu picture if I would have been able to. Should I focus on Mulan and scrap Suleiman? So I wouldn't do that. I'd actually keep your March almost where it is. So if you wanted to actually work on this, I'd just get the Bellevue to 1 star. Nice and cheap, nothing too crazy there, right? Then your Attila, if you're able to, get him to 3 star. Just get him to 3-star and you'll be happy no matter what, because later down the line, you can use him with any archer or cav that you might be running and you're going to be good, right? You're going to be good. Good as golden, right? Because he's just that good of a critical strike based support hero, right? Now, Suleiman, Sandiok, and Weiss and Shane. I would replace, like you said, the Weiss and Shane with your Theodora. I don't know what level your Theodora is. However, you're running Sun Tzu, and I'm guessing Philip with that Theodora. So what I would do is simple. If you're not running infantry and you do have the capabilities, I'm talking you've got 300,000 or more archers trained up because you've been speeding them and going crazy, right? You can run 2 archer matches on the open field. Just run your warrior archers and then just take out the Weiss and Shin here and put in the Theodora. It's going to allow you to run double archers, hunt down any type of empire that you might be facing in the Mightiest Empire that are really infantry heavy, and you'll notice this being pretty good because you can segue this later on because you can get access to Charlemagne and you can get Ramses too. And the thing is, with those 2 heroes, again, you can put Charlemagne with Theodora and your Sun Tzu, or your Suleiman, or your Ramses, right? Or even the Weiss on Shin. That's how good the Charlemagne and Theodora combo is, because Charlemagne, if you don't know, he's a G3 hero, not the G2 heroes that we've got access to at the moment, but he basically gives you a double casting of your signature skill, which is crazy, right? It just allows you to just hit him twice with basically the ultimate strategist from your good old Sun Tzu. Same with Weiss and Shin, allows him to absolutely nuke people. So you can see why you could keep running this. So it is a hard decision there, but my advice would be to get this to 3-star on your Attila, 1-star Bellevue, and then, to be honest, you can work on your Suleiman if you like the Suleiman and Queen Syndiote combo, because that is the bread and butter of that march. It allows basically Queen Syndiote with her silence and her obviously damage with conflagration hits 2 of the requirements for Suleiman's skill, allowing Suleiman with his incapacitation from the war skill allows him to hit all 3, right, with just 2 heroes. So that's kind of the beauty of it. So that is it. Hopefully that answered your question out and given you a bit more insight on that. And anyone who's been wondering about those matches, hopefully I've helped you out. Should I go for this? Another good question, right? The skin, right? So the thing is, with this, a lot of people might not realize, and I wanted, I ain't even technically made a video or guide telling you this either, right? And this is something I honestly knew from quite a long time ago, and I assumed a lot of people did. The Carnelian Mana Stone. So this is what you collect to exchange for customization rewards in mall events. What's really important about this is you can see every other currency has a timer on. This does not have a timer on, meaning if you started the game and you went through the Halloween event, the Christmas event, and now you got this New Year's event, you didn't have to spend a single dime on any of these rewards in theory, right? Because if we go over to the actual lantern area, where are we going? Oh, I'm an idiot. SNEAKZ, you're an idiot. I know, SNEAKZ. Here we go. We're in the right area now, the actual festival area, right? You earn these from obviously spinning on here, and these will not disappear, guys, meaning the exchange store, if you really wanted to try and save up for 2,100 tokens, you can get that skin. However, you can also get other skins down here, which is also, if you look, pretty nice skins if you are just looking for cosmetics. Obviously, they're not going to give you that big, stat buff. Same with this one up here. A little bit cheaper, right? So if you are trying to get a city skin, especially if you're a free-to-play player, and you are grinding this Mana Stone currency through the mall event every, holiday, this is a cheaper one. And this is giving you 1.5 unit attack. It's 1.89k compared to the brand new one, which is 2.1 for 1.5% all unit attack again, right? So just to kind of give you guys a little heads up on there. Just remember, you can go down here, you can buy XP and all other stuff. XP and resources honestly isn't the bad choice, because people know how hard it is to level up heroes, and you're going to need resources later on, especially when you get into that T6 push and you're pushing towards T7. I'm telling you, you'll thank me later for it. Once you've done that, you'll be like, okay, we don't even need it anymore. I'm like, yeah, that's it. Done all your heroes, focus on everything else. But when it comes to this event, just to kind of give you guys a little bit of help, you don't need to buy the skin. If you just spin and keep spinning, and maybe over time, and I'm telling you, over time is about a year, mate, maybe over a year, you grind, you will be able to buy a city skin. It's just going to take you so long to do, guys. So is it worth it? I don't personally think so. I reckon you can just progress your account better by just getting the resources or getting just anything else, even the summoning tokens, for God's sake, right? To try and get yourself your YSGs or YSSs or whatever you're looking for. Maybe even those would be potentially better once you've maxed out every hero you owned and once you had enough resources, for example, right? So that's my opinion on it. You guys might want to argue. You can argue, that's perfectly fine, and disagree with me, but that is my view. I wouldn't get any of the cosmetics otherwise, because obviously these ones don't give you any stats, right? So just go for the ones that give you stats, and if you are, save it up over time. That's the best advice I can give you for this pointer, right? So coming into the finale of our good old Fix by Form. And again, if you've been watching this and enjoying all the points and just helping you guys learn secrets about this game, smash a like, comment, and subscribe. And you can put your questions in my Discord by joining down below in the description, right? So the final one is, this is my main March. There's a lot in here, right? And I'm going to put this all in a video, right? So you can see it did mess up a little bit, because this is my main March I've been working on. I'm being told Yodit should be first. So this is the Miyamoto, Tribuana, and Yodit March, right? And everyone's been telling him he should have Yodit first. And that is because of a major issue in the game. And we're going to clear that up today as well, because we've already cleared up the Hammurabi and the King Derek, so why not clear up this one, right? So when it comes to the good old Miyamoto March, right, if you look at Yodit, and this is where people are messing up, if you hit Yodit, it recommends this is the way you run it. It recommends you run Yodit primary with the Tribuana and then either the Miyamoto at the back, which is crazy, right? Putting him at the back. And this is saying the Yodit signature damage will deal high damage, has the chance to provide damage immunity state. It also stacks immunity for further boost her commander skill damage. Tribuana can increase the frequency of Yodit's skill and boosting the lineup damage and survivability. This is all true, but what it misses out is what Miyamoto does. Miyamoto also, guys, and this is what's so crazy about this match, he also deals 1 damage and has a chance to let the hero with the highest might cast the signature active skill on a turn-based skill while increasing their extra skill damage, right? So what you're able to do is, if you go to your attributes, you can see mine is 492 on my Miyamoto. Once I level up everyone correctly, you'll see my might is 412 on Tribuana, but my Yodit, once she is completed, is gonna be higher. She's gonna have higher might than the other heroes. So what this means is, when your Miyamoto is primary, so in this setup, guys, and you will see even my setup runs this. If we go into the formation tab and click the right one, when you have this setup with Miyamoto, Tribuana, and Yodit, right? The 3 commanders. What this does, and I tried to explain it in a live stream, but here we go. We're going to do it here. Miyamoto has to be first, because when you have him first, he is going to deal an absurd amount of damage, and then he's going to trigger his activation chance. And depending on, where you're at, so for me, he's going to increase the activation chance of the Tribuana. Tribuana then obviously gets her skill activated, hopefully, allowing her skill to increase the activation chance again of the Yodi, and this allows the Yodi to have a higher, obviously, chance to trigger her skill, deal the damage, and have that immunity. So when it comes back around to the Miyamoto, he's basically at the highest HP he could have been at because of the turn he saved of the battle damage immunity, and we repeat. And that's all it's doing. It's a hopscotch of activation effects, and that's what you want it to do. You don't want it to not do that, because if you miss that activation cycle up, you'll realize it's not having this constant machine gun of skills. It's more like a double barrel shotgun and another double barrel shotgun, and you're missing that reload, right? Because you're having to put those 2 bullets back in, and you're doing that because of the positioning of your hero. So I have it exactly the same here with my Miyamoto, Tribuana, and Yodi, all in their retrospective areas. And you can imagine with the Yodi, once I go through the right areas, obviously increasing the correct, obviously, might on the thing, you know, on each hero. So you can see why this is why it's important, why you need these guys in the right positions. If you do, you're going to have the most damage. If you don't, you're going to not do the most damage. So that's where I have him: Miyamoto, Tribuana, Yodi. Argue in the comment section down below if you think Yodi should be primary. However, I don't believe so. I just think it's just better. Even the Flash of Yang, just absolute monstrous skill. So that is going to be that final Fix My Form question. And we've gone through all of, obviously, the different skills there and different questions you guys got for Age of Empires Mobile. So if you want to ask me any more questions, anything to do with Age of Empires Mobile, or just ask for an opinion, a different opinion from everyone else, because you're able to do that. You're able to listen to other opinions. Don't let the comment section tell you otherwise. Put it in my Discord down below, and we can make another episode and make hopefully episode 4 and keep this a long running series on Age of Empires Mobile. So with that, smash like, comment, and subscribe, guys. It's been me, MrSneakyy, Age of Empires Mobile, Fix My Form, episode 3. And until the next one, stay safe, stay sneaky. Peace out.